Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Aquarius for August 2020. This is just a road trip, and I thought I'd just do something a little bit different. It's a sunny day, so I thought I'd get outside and try to do it sometime, within the day hours versus the nighttime hours that I tend to keep. So nonetheless, this is, again, it's a reading for August 2020, and it's career and finance as well as general energies. So if you're new to my channel, I'll just give you just a brief rundown of how I go ahead to do the readings. So as it stands, these will be my advice cards here, and this will be the general energies for, which these will also be the general energies surrounding. And I also have some here at the bottom. There's 3 that might be a little out of view. I'll try to pull them forward as we go. So again, these are the general energies for August 2020 for Aquarius, and then I have the career and finance aspect, which will be central to the reading. So I'll just try to switch it over so you can see some of the cards here. But overall, I'll just give you a quick synopsis of what I'd seen. Okay, so in reviewing the cards at this point, it looks like you are dealing with some kind of very emotional issue. I suspect it's related to a relationship. You do have a lot of soulmate, possibly even karmic energy that's coming through on this one. I definitely feel there's a resolve. There's some kind of a victory, but there is a bit of a warning that that victory may be a little bit fruitless. So be careful of your words and how you actually handle the situation. So, because you do have a lot of, there's some repeat cards in here as well with the 4 of Cups, and you also have the 4 of Cups here in the Rider-Waite deck. And just to give you a little rundown again of the cards I'm also using too, I am using the Archangel decks here from Doreen Virtue. That's the Power Tarot cards with Radleigh Valentine. I'm also using these up here, which are the Voyager Tarot, and that's James Wanless. And I'm also using the cards from Rider-Waite, and I'm sorry, I don't know who the creator of that particular deck is, even though I do use it frequently. I do. It's my favorite deck. And then I'm also using the Jungian Tarot, which is a new deck for me, and this one is actually by Robert Wang. So that would be the 3 cards toward the bottom, which again I'll pull forward as we go along. So again, a lot of repeat cards. What I did notice straight off with the Voyager Tarot cards is the Strength card that's coming through. So again, you're being asked just to to be strong during this time. There is definitely some kind of emotional issue that has you extremely heated. I do feel a lot of emotion coming out of the cards there. Not in terms of, there's not a lot of cards as far as in the financial read that relate to creativity and energy and all of those things, but as far as the general energy surrounding, I do feel that there is a lot of emotion. Whether or not you're expressing it kind of remains to be seen at this point, but I do feel that there is some issues around you somebody having to either dominate the situation, wants this victory, and certainly with the Strength card, I mean, that can be a Leo energy that's coming through here as well. There's also a Libra energy. There's an Aries energy as well coming through here. So again, doesn't have to be those signs specifically, but certainly characteristics of those individuals. With the 4 of Cups, you do have in the Voyager deck, you do have the Anger card, and for sure there's a Tower moment, something that might be legal or relating to matrimony or somebody that's married, that kind of thing. But lots of relationship cards that are overshadowing the financial aspect. So anyway, with the Strength card, again, this is about, you needing to remain in control of yourself for sure, because I feel there's a lot of emotional upheaval for the month of August. I do feel that you will have the ability to, regulate yourself and be courageous, but again, you need to just be mindful of staying in balance between those male and female energies. So whether you're a male looking at this reading or a female looking at the reading, just try to kind of take the mindset of both. Of both aspects of, a king and a queen, for example. In tarot, a lot of the queen's strength comes from her intrinsic thought, and a lot of the external strength is generally coming through with the kings. And there is some, for sure, male energy coming through that's quite strong here with the lawyer representing in the financial aspect. But again, trying to find some balance, rein it in, because I do feel there's a lot of emotional issues going on here for August. But be courageous, express yourself, but stay balanced, between that male and female sort of energy. And again, that's not true for everyone. Not all females are, soft and tender. And there's a strength for both male and females. It's just expressed differently. But I mean, we all have that yin yang energy. One may dominate more so over another, depending on what the issue is for people. So again, try to take the pride and the ego out of it with the strength card here, and just try to remain mindful of not having such a strong need to control or domineer or be oppressive, anything like that, or intimidating. So we also have the Priestess card coming through, and the Priestess is actually another card that speaks to that law of knowledge. So you want to rely on your truth, your inner truth, things that relate to equilibrium, and certainly about knowing yourself and, trying to remain logical and with a counseling frame of mind. So when I say counseling, I mean you don't necessarily have to counsel someone. Could be just yourself that you need to, talk down, that kind of thing. But certainly it's an aspect of being objective. And someone that needs to be wise. You could be relying on somebody as well for advice that is considered a wise counselor to yourself as well. But regardless, this card also speaks to being calm, cool, and withdrawing a little bit, being a little emotionally detached from the situation, so that you can get a clear understanding of what's emotionally, occurring here. So you don't want it to go too far out of control. With the emotional aspect, try to stay rational minded, logical. So again, with the Four of Cups, you also have that coming through as being emotionally intense. There's for sure intensity, both parties, or on one side more so than another. But this is a breaking apart of kind of explosive anger. So the Four of Cups is really about inner conflict as well. So again, there's a stormy, aggressive, emotional nature that is coming through here that needs to be renewed or transformed in some way so that it's not abusive. And you can always channel energy into creativity so that it's not, drawing on resources of energy and so on. Okay, so getting into the Jungian cards. The Jungian Tarot is actually this one here. Well, actually, maybe I'll just bring these ones forward just as a reminder. Again, stay empowered, be strong, try not to be domineering, let your ego get in the way, and be prideful over a situation. Victory sometimes is not as sweet, even if we do win. The Priestess card is, again, just trying to keep things in check, be balanced. We've got the Four of Cups, try to taper down that anger. Clearly, there's a lot of strong emotions involved here, and again, because it's overshadowing into the financial aspects, I just feel that you really need to be careful there. Okay, so this is the Jungian Tarot, and this is a new deck for me as well, but the Jungian Tarot is, this is the King of Swords here, and so of course some of the meanings vary from each of the decks. So in this particular deck, the King of Swords, it can represent a Libra energy as well coming through, which I felt was strongly coming through here, because we do have, we've got the Justice card as well, we've got the King of Swords here, but this can also represent an Aries individual. But either way, I just feel that we are dealing with an Aries and a Libra. But again, it could be just the characteristics of that. So, with this particular card, this is an Aries represented here. So it's a strong-willed, individual that's really can be quite aggressive, very driven. Somebody who can be quite volatile and outgoing, but forgives, forgets quickly, but can be a little strategic and calculating. Somebody who loves change as well, but definitely I feel that this is a person who can be a little bit aloof or withdrawn. Somebody who can be a little cruel in their presentation when dealing with situations that are stressful for them. So just to be aware, I feel that this is more of a person that's coming through in respect to that that particular card. I don't feel that you need to take on the approach of being strategic and dominating, especially too because of the other cards above here that speak to tempering that down. So we also have from the King of Swords, it moves into the Four of Cups, which again is another card that you also have above the Four of Cups, and you also have the Four of Cups here, plus you have the Four of Cups in the Jungian Tarot. So Four of Cups is also a card of Pisces. So, I mean, there could be a Pisces or a water sign, you know, that's involved here or somehow acting on your behalf as maybe an intermediary, somebody who's counseling you or giving you some advice, something along that line. But with the Four of Cups, it is also about pleasure. So this is about comfort, charity, and kindness, somebody who's got good humor. It can be about entertainment with this particular deck. Again, normally the Four of Cups has a different connotation in other decks, but in this particular deck, the Jungian Tarot, it actually comes through as you know, being very sensitive, but there is some kind of financial ease that's coming through with this card, and even traveling by water, but it could also speak to extremes of pleasure. And I have a sense that this is where we're going with this one, that there could be a lot of drinking, there could be a lot of fighting over the drinking. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I mean, because as I say, it's going to resonate differently for it's a general reading, so it's going to resonate differently for various Aquarius personalities. So for one group of you, as I say, I mean, this could be toxicity. This could represent toxicity, something that's going overboard on that level. Could be extreme boredom for some, and certainly, again, you know, just somebody who is overindulging in some way, whether it's drinking or whether it is, which cups usually denotes drinking, but it can be other aspects of overindulgence as well. And again, we also have this is moving into a more positive though. So, I mean, overall for the month of August, I feel that there is going to be some light at the end of the tunnel, but there is going to be some very strong heated emotions, I feel, for that the beginning, probably a couple of weeks, maybe even into that third week, before things get resolved. So we are looking at the Ten of Pentacles here, which normally, and again, each deck is a little bit different in its representation. So I'm going to stay true to the cards reading on this deck. But the Jungian Tarot represents the Ten of Pentacles here as a Capricorn energy. So this is an isolated power. So this is somebody who is winning, but in winning, they're going to become isolated. So again, I feel that there's a victory coming through for you, but if you're not careful, you're going to end up alone in some respect. So whether that means this person is going to ghost you for a little while and you're not going to get a lot of information or know their whereabouts, or you're not going to be talking for a period of time, it's not to say they won't come back. It's just to say that during the month of August, there's going to be a win for you, but again, at what cost? So again, be really careful about being too arrogant, because this card is somebody who comes through as nothing's more important than money. Money is most important, and ambition, and you know, somebody can be quite direct with this Ten of Pentacles in this particular Jungian deck. Again, it's not to do for all the decks. This is just specific to this deck. But the card speaks to strength is hiding in that personal insecurity and loneliness. So if you dig deep, you'll be able to realize that if you dig deep, you're going to be able to realize that the win isn't really as how do I say that? I feel that the win is not going to be really what you're after. I think what you really are trying to seek here is common ground, and to keep that at the forefront of your mind versus the ultimate win. Winning in itself may feel good, but again, there's a cost, there's a price, and I feel that for you in the month of August, that win may leave some level of, may leave you in a place of strong insecurity anyway. Stronger, you might be feeling more weak than empowered by this win. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so again, maybe I'll read the advice cards at the end here. So what I'm looking at as far as the rest of the financial aspect here, we've got the Two of Wands, and it's clarified with the couples here as well. So again, there's a two that's also coming through there. So again, with the Two of Wands, I mean, this can speak to just having some patience with this relationship. So, you know, again, I just feel that in terms of money, it is still a healthy cycle. There might be some fighting about the money. I don't know that there's any direct loss just yet. Again, we're still just reviewing through these cards here, but there is some kind of partial success is what I feel. I don't feel there's some kind of a win for you, but it's going to feel like a partial success. I don't feel that, I feel you're waiting for some kind of results. Again, with this Two of Wands, you are asked to be patient. So, I mean, in terms of time frame, it could be 48 hours, 3 days, that kind of thing, three weeks, something like that. But it is a success in a joint venture. So maybe there is some kind of understanding or good news that comes through with this situation. Maybe this is coming through from previous months where there was already some heated uncertainty. But either way, I mean, this is a card about you showing that you mean business. You know, you're being inventive about, you know, how you're dealing with this. I feel that you're widening your perspective a little bit about something, but you are making your mark on the world here as well. And I do feel that there is a lot of energy that's coming through either on a partnership, and I do feel that this is more than just a regular business partnership. I feel that this is, but although you could have a soulmate connection on a business partnership front as well, but I feel this is somehow intertwined with a lover of some sort as well. But it can also speak to travel plans with the Two of Wands here as well. But again, there's some kind of a partial win or some kind of planning stage for others as well. So again, I'm speaking to a couple of different Aquarians here, but I feel that you're waiting on results for something, for one group. I feel another group, and so just to have some patience here. And then but there is achievement. It's just not going to feel like it's a partial win of some sort. For others, it may be involving travel. But as well, normally it can be like a doubling of strength and power in this kind of thing in this relationship. But because I feel it's followed by the Tower and the legal card, Justice, I feel that there is some kind of issue that's surrounding this coupleship. So there is a Tower moment, or something that something needs to be dealt with here, because as I said, with the Lover's card and the Two of Wands, it is some kind of a relationship, a partial success, because Lover's card is also about big changes coming, and some kind of decision making that needed to be addressed there. But I think the decision is being made here with the Tower energy and the legal card. So again, Tower energy just doesn't necessarily mean something very bad. It can be more of an enlightening experience where you're actually, you know, the problem doesn't last for sure when it's a Tower moment, but it does speak to, you know, some kind of something that just takes you by surprise. It's a bit of a sudden issue that might arise as a legal problem here. But it is still a breakthrough of sorts. And again, it's some kind of new realization, and you're moving past this. So it is, in terms of advice, it really is whatever the foundation was that was weak. It needed to be addressed. It needed to be looked at and resolved. So here's your resolve right here. There's a tear down of the old way, and it's being addressed in some kind of legal sense, I suspect. So, but again, it's a partial victory. So, but it is still a win for you nonetheless. It just may not feel like it because there's going to be some kind of a loss. And again, with the King of Swords, I feel this is your energy probably coming through here. Could be the other person as well, but Again, with the King of Swords, this is a legal card as well. Somebody who's in authority, realistic, rational, could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Somebody who's got fair judgment, intellectual, strategic. Somebody who is quite sure of himself. And generally with the King's energy, this is somebody who has external power. Whereas, as I say, with the Queens, it tends to be more of an internal strength. But this is somebody who takes a logical approach, more of a structured energy. And again, moving toward the middle to end of August, we have the Four of Cups, and that is dealing with something with the past. So with the Six of Cups energy. So the Four of Cups is, again, different decks review the Four of Cups a little differently, but you feel there's some kind of a loss, but you still have a lot of cups standing here. So you're feeling like maybe you're bored or you're missing out on something that related to the past. So maybe this is where you feel there is only a partial win because you don't actually get a chance to resolve it with this person, and there is some space or some kind of self-doubt as well here around this person. But somebody could be also very stubborn, but I feel there's kind of a withdrawn energy here or some kind of a sadness. So again, it's a no clear answer just yet as to what's happening, even though I feel there is some kind of a resolve that comes through for the end of August in terms of whatever this issue was. But again, just as a reminder, focus on the things that you can do. You can't have all the answers and you can't have all the skills to address every issue that comes forward in the same month. Sometimes some things just are a learning curve and you just have to go with it. Don't take things too personally. Yes, sometimes loss is painful, but again, it's once you've already done something once, it's not to say you can't do it again. And that is, something that... And again, your perspective matters here because, again, if you're looking at things from a point of loss, and you're reminiscing for the old way, then you wouldn't be where you are right now. You're at a point where something didn't work out with that old frame of mind and the old way, and so you have to let it go. You have to let it transform. You have to let it move on into and evolve into something else. So otherwise, you're just hanging like the hangman. You're just hanging in position, and there's too much regret. So again, with the Six of Cups, again, I feel this is something from the past, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a love relationship or a love relationship that you felt was, you were quite, maybe even from childhood, but it could also relate to inner child needing to be expressed here. But just either way, there's illusions that are being cut through here as well with the King of Swords, and things are going to have a resolve. So moving on to the Two of Cups here again, I still feel soulmate energy. I don't do a lot of love readings, but unfortunately they are tied into every aspect of our lives from the business front right on down. There's always at some point, there's some kind of energy there. But we do have, again, Two of Cups, you're still trying to find some balance here. Lots of Cups energy, lots of emotion that's coming through for the month of August. Again, this is about cooperation. There's a victory. So there is some kind of resolve at the end of August for this. Could be some kind of reconciliation or even some kind of forgiveness. But, you might have regretted some of the things that you've said here. But it's all about that union. And in terms of money, you're meeting financial, obligations. Saving might be a little more difficult during this time for August, because money is coming in, but money is also going out. But again, there's still some kind of victory here. There is still some money coming in, but again, I just feel that the money is it's not getting a chance to build just yet. But there is still reason for optimistic hope coming in. It can also be a sign of, for others, where you are signing a business deal or there's some kind of employment contract or something that's coming through as well. But and it could even relate to an old business idea or an old job or something that's coming back. And this is, you moving forward on that. But either way, with the Chariot card, there's some kind of a victory there. So then we also have the Ace of Swords with the Sun. So with the Ace of Swords, again, this is clarity coming through. So things are definitely opening up for change. This is triumph. This is success. You've got the optimistic card of the Sun with it. You've cut through all the confusion. There's a victory. Things are being healed. and you're facing up to these challenges. There's clarity, there's logic, there's all kinds of, opportunities that come through with this card, with the Ace of Swords. But again, with the Sun card, it's a breakthrough of some sort here. So there's some kind of new realization that also is allowing the mind to expand financially. So maybe you've had some kind of sudden insight into a business idea that you were in a partnership with, maybe a love partner. But either way, there is some kind of breakthrough at the end where you come through to some kind of understanding. Now, the Knights are all about, pages usually direct you as to what you should be doing, which direction, even though it's not a new energy. But the Knight actually implements things. So the Knight comes through with news or messages. And in this one, it's about time to move quickly. So choose logic over emotion, and there will be some sudden changes. And the card that was the clarifier is the decision card that follows that. So again, these are the advice cards. So I just want to quickly, just reiterate, this is time for swift action with the Knight of Michael. And any Knight, period, generally is letting you know it's a strong, committed, intellectual, diligent energy. So develop a plan, know that you have to carry it forward, get your mind moving on it. It must be logic over emotion for the month of August. Don't act impulsively. And this is somebody who's really a multitasker, somebody who has a really good mind and knows how to stay focused, and they have the capacity to resolve issues because of their intellectual mindset. You also have, again, the decision card. Decision is one of just that, decisions. And because there's a lot of twos in your reading, I do feel that you are having to make a decision for sure. It's a strong energy of finding balance. Release yourself from that which holds you back, a need to detox, unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. So this could be you or the other person, but either way, there is something that is not being addressed, but you're being told, don't hesitate, get moving on this. You have to make a decision and go forward. And again, stay logical in your mindset. So break free of the things that are holding you back, release any feelings of helplessness or entrapment, or things that you might be feeling limit you in some way, because it's really just it's your negative thinking that's holding you back from moving in your heart's direction. So again, try to be logical about it, and focus on your strengths, not your lack of self-confidence here. So we also have the Six of Michael, and again, the Six of Michael, these are again the advice cards. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. So breathe a sigh of relief and make new plans, relocation or travel. So the Six of Michael is, again, sixes are all about balance, but it's moving toward happier times here. So again, I feel toward the end of August is where you're getting that energy. Just embrace the changes and leave the past behind is what the card reflects. And it's okay to ask for help. And, in moving ahead here, we all need a little advice. We sometimes need to look at things more objectively through the help of another's perspective or another's eyes. But again, it's just about becoming more positive, and there might be some reason for relocation or travel that's also associated with that card. So we also have the Five of Michael, and the Five of Michael is a card that speaks to, it doesn't serve you to think in a negative mindset. So this situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome and consider taking a more uplifting approach. So again, a little too much negativity during the earlier part of August. And just to reconsider your actions before, you throw a lot of time and energy behind it, just about, going after the win, because I feel that there is going to be some kind of resolve here, and you don't want to scar the situation so that you can't get back a little bit of that reconciliation energy. The idea of a win is to try to find something that's negotiable. It doesn't have to be as ugly as, all wins don't have to be made out to be ugly. That's all I'm going to say here. But it is about you making more optimistic plans. Things may not have turned out exactly as you've hoped throughout whatever this decision-making process was, but you have, learned something from it, and you have improved information anyway, and because of all that negativity that you were expelling, it's just wasted energy, and there is a need for greater self-awareness coming through. Last card of the reading is the Eight of Raphael. So there is something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you. It's a spiritual quest. Eights, again, all about balance, moving forward, getting rid of things that don't serve you. You're coming out of a period where, really heavy emotional state, I feel, for the month of August. But with the Eight of Raphael, there's definitely hope, light at the end of the tunnel here. So I do feel if you empower yourself, get rid of some of this negative energy that you've built up around the situation, that you will be able to see things for what it is. And I feel there's some kind of inward search here that again, an aha moment toward the end, where you just feel like you've got a breath of understanding here. So your past experiences have helped you understand things to date with this card. You're on a bit of a journey here, a spiritual quest. You know what's right for you, and you might even have to change some of your interests to be able to build upon this new change or this relocation, or change in job or relationships or whatever it is for you. But there is some kind of a change that's coming through for sure, for them, and an understanding. And again, just to taper down the negative energy, which is strongly coming through. And again, there could be some kind of a legal issue, or it could be something to do with legal matters. It doesn't have to be up against another person, could be a government agency, although I didn't really see the Hierophant coming through here. But either way, there is definitely some kind of a partnership that's involved here as well. So, and again, I feel like it's from something from the past. So this is a long-standing friendship or partnership. Anyway, hope that gave you a little bit of insight, Aquarius, and this is just a quick read on location, right? Trying something a little bit different here, and we'll talk to you in September. So good luck with whatever it is that you're dealing with.